When you open the door of your 159 and it makes this sound and gives the impression that you are entering in some of the most poor quality cars ever built. On this video I'm trying to fix the issue and investigate what actually causes the noise. And I have tried to grease the sliding surfaces here, but it doesn't help. So let's see what actually is the problem. So there are two Torx bolts here, and they have a T30 heads. And under this rubber, wow, look at this grease. I have really put too much in here and it has accumulated in here, but there are two nuts with a 10mm head. You have to pull it out through here and you get some more space in here by removing this panel. It is held on by these two nuts. And you get in here and see the strap is here, and there's this hole nicely positioned that you can use to pull the part out. To be safe, before you remove the strap, put some kind of a stopper for the door, because you can actually open the door too much and damage the paint of the door. Let's see if I can pull this out. So let's try this again. Wow. I have been absolutely mental with the grease gun. Do not put this much grease. Looking at this system, I don't see any significant wear on these surfaces. There is some scratching, but nothing very major. And also this pin isn't loose. It is very stiff to turn. There isn't any play. So I might have to dismantle this unit further. There are springs under these plates. And there are ball surfaces squeezing against this rail here. Here is another side. Sorry that the camera wasn't looking at the right spot. I don't see any obvious damage here. I just have to say that the grease hasn't been the reason why this has failed, as it was knocking long before I started greasing it. Let's see if I can. So here is the plastic bit that is facing these surfaces here. I try to take it out now. And now I have a new door strap ready to be installed. And here you can see the part number. So this mold code says that this is made in 2018. So maybe they are still making these, or they are using this in some of their newer models, so they are available. I don't know, but it wasn't very expensive. Here we can see that there is some grease already in this new part. So maybe you can use some kind of a grease that is compatible with plastics, silicone or something. But don't put too much, because I think it just attracts dirt, and it gets in here and is kind of sanding those cups, so they become loose. And there is some grease on this pin also. So obviously it is designed to have grease, but just don't follow my earlier example and use only thin coat. And you could also clean this before you apply new grease. Now let's see if I can install this in this position without pushing the rail in. Okay, it actually can be done in the longest. So here it is. I'm sorry that the camera wasn't focused on the right spot again. I was so concentrated on this maneuver. So it seems to be put these bolts first. And don't forget your rubber piece. And then we can install our nuts in here. So the another nut was already in the socket. So I just tightened this up. These bolts were like 2 times longer than needed. They also had some kind of thread lock in them originally. So we are very close to the finish now. Clean some of this. So we are ready. And we can test how this door sounds now. Wow. This is nice. It is like opening the door of a brand new 159. So let's wrap this up and think what we have learned. Well, at least firstly, you definitely want to fix this issue because this part is quite easy to replace, as it makes such a huge difference to the feel of quality of the car, and I find the sound also very annoying. But on the other hand, if these parts become unavailable, then you have to be really DIY minded to fix this. But it can be done, of course. You can take these pieces to some machine shop and ask if they can make these parts for you from brass, for example, or plastic. But I would use brass myself, as it would last a lot longer than these plastic pieces. By the way, this design looks very similar to the straps on some General Motors cars. So these might have been manufactured in millions. You just need to know where to find these. I have also seen that one of these springs have snapped, and it can also make the similar sounding noise to the strap. And thirdly, you don't want to use this much grease, and the grease has to be silicone based. because the rubber piece also, which I showed, had started to deform from the oils in the grease. This grease was calcium-based grease, but I think lithium grease would do the same to the plastics and rubbers. So it would be best to use only small amount of silicone grease on here, and you just need to clean the dirt off before you apply more grease to make this last as long as possible. So, I guess that is it for this time. Thank you very much for watching.